welcome to my channel. This is Luke Blackwell, and today I'll be talking to you about CHHS 210, otherwise known as happiness, taught by Marsha Todd. So happiness is a course that I took over this semester because it's offered by the College of Human and Health Services. I figured it would be a fun class, and I have been correct. We have went outside to do a class. We have had discussions on relationships and blue zones. We have watched YouTube videos, including Ellen DeGeneres and Sean Anchor. We have had a whole class-long discussion, and we have done yoga for class already this semester. So it's been pretty fun, keeps you active. It's one of those involved kind of courses. The purpose of this video, however, is because in the beginning of the semester, we were asked to take a fit test. And not fit as in fit, but fit as in like your happiness scores. So the scores, the higher you scored, the more happiness you got from doing this particular activity, and the lower you scored, the least amount of happiness you got from this activity. And then we were asked to take our highest ones, or whichever ones we wanted to improve, and implement them in our life for 3 weeks out of the semester. So the three I chose were random acts of kindness and savoring life's joys, because they were my highest two scores, and then taking care of my body. So that was just a little more selfish, but you know, you gotta take care of you to take care of others. So what I would do is, for random acts of kindness, I have cooked dinner for my friends whenever they don't want to go wag. I have bought dinner for my friends. I have bought coffee for this girl in line behind me, which was more of an accident, but I'm still counting it. She had just forgot her one card in her room, and she didn't have anything to pay for it, so I told her, just go ahead and use mine. It was no big deal. Another thing we did is, one day me and my friends Sarah and Alyssa went to Walmart, and as we were leaving, we were driving by, and we noticed there's a bunch of homeless people. So we turned around, went back to Walmart, and we bought bottles of water, popcorn chicken, popcorn shrimp, and some chips. And we took them up to the homeless people and asked them if they were hungry and if they would like any of it. They were very gracious, they were very polite. It's really sweet. This one lady told us that it was great that we didn't just try to give it to her, that it showed her that we cared more by not just assuming that she needed it. And so she was happy about that. Another thing that I implemented this past semester has been savoring life's joys. And I've done this by building a new Spotify playlist, e-newing, going to the beach, just spending time with my roommates, and less time on Netflix. Although I have watched a lot on Netflix. Currently I'm binge watching Friends. If you haven't seen it, you should go see it. And I don't know why you haven't. It's kind of an older TV series. It's from like the late 90s, early 2000s. It's great though. And the last thing I did was taking care of my body. And the way that I've done this is I've quit drinking sodas over the semester. I think I've drank maybe 2 or 3 this semester. I've been drinking plenty of water. When I go to the gym, I try to walk 2 or more miles on the treadmill. Walk, not run, because apparently walking can burn more calories, or so I've been told. I try to go to the gym about 4 times a week. Doesn't always work out that way, but most of the time it does. Another thing that I've done is cut back on my bread intake, just because carbohydrates can make you look a little bloated, and I knew I had to do this video at the end, and you know, no one's trying to look like Santa Claus on the video. Another thing that I have to talk about is just there's a few questions that Marsha provided for us that we should answer. So over the course of the semester, I was just to talk about what I've learned. And basically what I've learned is that my happiness is dependent on me and not on others around me. So I can help others, and by helping others it can make me feel good, but that's not the only way for me to increase my happiness. I also need to take care of myself and think introspectively about what I need. So I've been working more on that. Another thing that we need to talk about is, for the course we've discussed a lot about these blue zones and just marriage and just relationship and just different ways to be happy and different strategies and different tests, and we've seen other people's talks about happiness and wellness weeks, and we've watched a lot of Sean Anchor, so that's been pretty cool. But I think the most interesting thing that I've learned is that apparently 50% of your happiness is dependent upon your genetics. while that seems kind of crazy, it's also kind of cool. Because if you have like a positive parent and a positive parent, and you're generally going to be happy. If you have a negative parent and a positive parent, you're probably going to be happy. If you have two negative parents, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily not going to be happy. It just means that you're probably more likely to have a pessimistic viewpoint on life. Not concrete, I don't think. I think the book says it is. I think people talk about it as that. But I feel like that's not concrete, but you're your own person. You have to make your own happiness. Another thing that we're supposed to discuss is how we plan to implement and maintain our happiness strategies after the course. So I plan to sustain my happiness by implementing a more precise gym schedule and including my friends for social support as well as motivation for myself. If I decide to try any other happiness strategies or try to add anything on, I believe that I'm going to try to add meditating on. Just because it's more introspective time, it's a time to slow your thought process and calm your mind and just reflect on the day and reflect on life. And honestly, it's a great time for spirituality. If you're a Christian or if you're a Hindu or a Buddhist, or even if you don't have a spiritual connection, like it's a great time to connect with whatever you think is your higher power. So I'm looking forward to that one. That one's going to be a little hard for me. If you can't tell, I talk a lot, I think a lot, move a lot. I don't know. But we'll see how that goes. This course has motivated me to implement steps to improve my happiness and motivated me to stick to a plan. Mainly because of the fact that we're doing most of this for a grade, so maybe not a positive reinforcer, but it hasn't really been a negative reinforcer either. Because all of it comes from my own experiences, my own thoughts, my own goals. And it's all from an introspective viewpoint, I feel like. And while we learn other things about what plays into happiness and what plays into our well-being and what plays into sustaining these things, it still holds true to your own self. Like, it's still more about what you can do to increase your happiness as a person. And basically, that's what I've learned from CHHS 210 Happiness course this semester. Thank you.